Hi guys, I went ahead and logged into the IXL. Notice it's grade 8. I had to improvise because we already did the geometry, and it's T.5. So in the beginning, they're going to give you circles, and notice this one says the radius of a circle is 1 centimeter. What is the circle's circumference? So this is my thought process, and this is what I would do on a piece of scratch paper. So first thing I did was I wrote down the area, or I'm sorry, I wrote down the formula for circumference. And we already know that circumference is equal to pi times diameter. So remember how I mentioned in the notes that you should be writing down the radius and the diameter for every problem? This is why. We need a diameter to find circumference, and they've only given us the radius. So before you begin, you have to figure out the diameter. So if the radius is 1, I have one radius here, and one more radius going across would make a diameter. So 1 plus 1 would give me 2. Once I have my diameter, I say 2 times 3.14. Yes, we have to actually multiply 3.14. Notice in the directions it says replace pi with 3.14. And we're going to get 6.28. I'm going to go ahead and punch that in. And it worked. Okay, let's look at this one. This says the radius of a circle is 4 feet. What is the area? Well, first things first, I have to ask myself, what is the formula for area? And I also need to write down my radius and my diameter. So I went ahead and I put this on a sticky note for you. There's the formula for area. It's pi times radius squared. So notice they actually gave us the radius, so we lucked out. But I like to write my radius and diameter for every problem. From from the center of the circle to the outside is 4, which means the other direction would also be 4. So my diameter would be 4 plus 4, which is 8. Now, I don't need 8. I don't need the diameter for this problem, but you should get in the habit of writing your radius and diameter every time. So then I would have to square the radius. So I'm going to steal this for a second. Squared means a number times itself. Okay. So it means I'm taking 4, timesing it by itself, then timesing it by 3.14. So 4 times 4 is 16 times 3.14 should give me 50.24, and then it would be feet squared. Now they already gave me square feet in the answer, so I just need to punch in 50.24. And it works. Okay, so get in the habit of writing the radius and diameter for every problem. Now, when you get to about 50, it's going to change. So I'm going to jump. Let me jump to 50. Okay, now you get a different kind of problem. Now they're no longer giving you the diameter or the radius. You're going to have to go backwards. They're saying the circumference, so the outside measure of the circle is 25.12 centimeters. What's the diameter of the circle? So you have to think backwards. So what I would do is I write down the information that we always do. Whoops, wrong one. And I remember, okay, circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Okay. So, but I don't know what the diameter is. So how do I figure it out? Well, I'm going to put in the information that I do know. I'm going to put in that circumference is equal to, whoops, I have the wrong sticky note there. Sorry. Circumference equals pi times diameter, right? The circumference in the formula is 25.12 pi is 3.14, and I don't know what the diameter is, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This is a D. Now, what do? Well, my goal is to get diameter alone. So I have to divide both sides by 3.14. Remember, we're always doing the opposite. On my calculator, I'm going to punch in 25.12 divided by 3.14, and I get 8. So the diameter equals 8. Just curious, if they had asked me to find the radius, all I have to do is divide that by 2. Okay, now we found our information, and I'm going to plug 8 in for the answer, and it worked. Let's try one more. It says the area of a circle is 28.26 square kilometers. What is the circle's diameter? So first things first, we have to remember the formula for area, and then we're going to find our diameter and our radius. Okay, so I went ahead and I wrote down area equals pi r squared. Okay, do they give me information here that I can put into my formula? Well, they tell me the area is 28.26. So I'm going to write that down where the area would be. Pi is 3.14. Okay, so now I know if I want to find the radius or the diameter, I got to always divide by pi. When I divide 28.26 by 3.14, I get 9. So I'm going to go down here. So I get 9 equals radius squared. But in order to figure out the radius, I have to get rid of the squared. How do I undo a square? I square root it. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So I get 3 equals r, so the radius is 3. But they asked me for the diameter. Diameter is 2 times the radius. So from here to here is 3, so it's 3 plus 3. So the diameter would be 6. Plug that in and hit submit. And let's see what our SMART score is. Woo, we did it. Okay. All of these are the exact same way, okay? If they give you the circumference or they give you the area, you're going to be dividing by pi, and then you're going to find either your radius or your diameter. I hope this helps.